Live from WDTV Studios, this is WDTV 5 News First at 5, keeping you connected.
I live right beside the river, and usually every time it rains, we have to worry about getting flooded out.
The rain continues to pour in our area, not avoiding flooding and high levels of water. Tonight, we'll take you around to the worst parts so you know what to be on the lookout for. Plus, on this week's West Virginia Fights Back, the first step to solving a problem is admitting it. Tonight, we'll meet one man who has gone to the edge and back and how others can do the same. And it was an emotional day at WVU as the college community gathered to remember a few of their own. You're going to see how tonight on First at 5. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us here on this Friday. Well, flooding in some areas like Mannington, Morgantown, and parts of Doddridge County and Harrison counties. High water across much of the rest of our area. All that's causing big problems today, leading many schools to dismiss early. And we're going to show you lots of video and pictures tonight on 5 News. But right now, let's go live to Chief Meteorologist Ken Meehan, who is live in Summit Park, where high water is making life hard. Ken, show us what it's like out there and tell us if you expect the flooding to get any worse as the night continues.
Well, here we are. We're live in Summit Park, and the flooding should get better, not worse, but it is going to take...
Better, not worse, but it is going to take some time. We've got lots of scenes like this. This is a secondary road and kind of a low traffic area, which is good. We've definitely got a lot of standing water on this road here. You can see for yourself. So what we always say is turn around, don't drown. You never know how deep the water is or how fast it's moving. So far, I've already seen 2 cars make it through this stretch of roadway, but it could be deeper, more faster moving, and you never know if anything's washed out underneath. So again, if you see scenes like this, you may want to head back in the direction you came and find an alternate route. Now, there is some good news, and that is that we are dealing with the rain drying up here across the area. It's definitely not raining as I speak here, and the rain will be winding down elsewhere. But there is some more rain for tomorrow, perhaps even some more flooding issues, although it won't be quite as much rain as what we saw today. We'll talk more about that later on First at 5.
Well, flooding like this, something the residents of Mannington far too used to. Our Corey Meredith took a trip there to see just how bad some of these roads are.
Yeah, Nate, some roads look more like streams, and today's flooding reminds many residents of the floods that happened this past July. Locals are hoping that the rain won't cause as much damage as it has in the past. Water Street, Main Street, and areas of the park are just a few spots that saw some severe flooding today. High water and road closure signs were all around town, letting people know that it's not safe to drive down those streets. One man tells me that he's seen Water Street worse than it was today. He says that the creek next to the street was widened and made deeper, helping to control some of this flooding. But he also says more needs to be done.
Down here on Main Street, where you turn up Water Street, is bad. If it clean out the culverts and make them deeper and take care of some of the water, it'd make a big difference.
Mannington, though, isn't the only area that saw some severe flooding today. Monongalia County did too. Coming up on 5 News at 6, we'll show you more of these flooded areas in Mannington and some of the flooded spots that cause roads to close in Morgantown. One resident says that he's used to seeing these roads flood, but they haven't been this bad in quite a while.
And in Upshur County, emergency personnel keeping a close watch on potentially hazardous conditions in the area. Now, this was earlier today near Buchanan along Route 20. You can see the farmland here across from Lick Run Road submerged by water. Throughout the day, officials kept an eye on minor flooding in low-lying areas, but the heavy rain didn't seem to have an effect on traffic conditions. That being said, the director of 911 in Upshur County reminds drivers to stay vigilant because only a small amount of water can disable a car.
Could cause it to float, that sort of thing. So in specific concern to roadways, you never want to cross a roadway that's covered with water, period. The issue that we're dealing with right now is because we're so saturated. The ground is so saturated from recent, weather.
Meanwhile, next door in Lewis County, rising water has become a concern for drivers only in the last hour or so. Coming up tonight on 5 News at 6, we'll show you the pictures that are coming into the 5 Newsroom from Weston. And we do have some pictures to show you of the flooding people in Doddridge County are dealing with right now. This first picture is of the entrance into West Union. You can see the sign welcoming you to the town. The water almost up to that sign. Now this next picture shows us the very high water that looks like it's very close to covering the bridge that serves as the entrance to Klein Stansbury Stadium. So stay away from there right now. And here's one more picture from Doddridge County. As you can see, flooding coming out to what looks like a picnic area off of Lick Run in Blandville. We do have a reporter out there. We can't connect with them for live coverage due to cell phone issues, but we will share more footage and interviews with you from Doddridge tonight on Fox 10 at 10 and 5 News at 11. Marion County not spared from Mother Nature either. Homes and businesses along Route 250 were hit the hardest today. Nicole Porter is live in Fairmont along Fairmont Avenue. So Nicole, describe to us what you're seeing.
Well, Nate, I'm here with Jamie Windsor. We're actually at his mother's home right here on Fairmont Avenue. Jamie, you built this home. You're an architect. Explain to us how you built it and what you thought of this water when you were doing that.
Well, we got the plans that showed where the 100-year flood line was going to be, and we made sure to keep the house just above it because we didn't have much room to spare, but we made sure to keep above the 100-year flood line.
Okay. Now, that was about 25 years ago, and in the 25 years, this is one of the highest you've seen the levels, correct?
Yes, as high as I've ever seen it. Only been this way a couple of times before.
Now, if you could have seen between us, there is the dock. That dock, usually, you can't see from the house.
The dock is usually below the level of the bank there, so you can't usually see that.
Right. So the good news here is, though, at least on this side of the river, the waters are rising, but the homes are safe. Most of them are built back.
Yes, they are.
Okay. Now, when we look across the river, it's sort of a different story. It's starting to reach.
Yes, I see a few houses that are down at the water line or slightly in the river now.
All right. Thank you so much, Jamie. Folks, live in Fairmont, I'm Nicole Porter for 5 News, keeping you connected.
No surprise here, but we have hundreds of power outages across our area right now. Most of them are being blamed on all the rain, or at least being connected to those conditions. Around 400 people still without power this afternoon. Many of those outages because of the picture you see here of a large tree that went down near Albright. This happened on a section of the North Preston Highway. At last check, DOH, Mon Power, and several fire departments on scene trying to clear the tree and restore service. We don't know how soon that will be done. The rest of the outages for our area listed on your screen. Aside from Preston, we have Braxton County with almost 200 outages, and then Harrison County with well over 100. Of course, these numbers could change dramatically the rest of the night, so 5 News will keep you connected with the latest numbers from Mon Power. A similar situation in Marion County, where earlier today, as many as almost 700 were stuck in the dark. Now, as of 4 o'clock, that number down to a little more than 130, with most of those in Mannington. 911 dispatchers said an accident today took out a power line, but it wasn't clear if that was responsible for the widespread outages. Well, last week we told you how one of the toughest parts of getting clean from an addiction is 1, realizing there's a problem, and 2, actually seeking treatment. This week on West Virginia Fights Back, Austin Pollock spoke with some who have done just that. So Austin, from the 3 people you spoke with, is there one story that really sticks with you?
Well, Pete Gallo is a man you heard from on the very first edition of West Virginia Fights Back. He, like many, knew he was addicted, but time in jail is what did it for him. Those we spoke with today told me once they lost something, they knew they didn't have a choice and something had to be done. But another piece we mentioned last week was options for people who don't have a lot of money. Gallo said there are ways to get clean and several programs to utilize that aren't expensive.
I had to definitely take a look at my life and realize I needed to do something different. I didn't want to end up and be living there for the rest of my life. And so it was obviously I had a problem. And so that's when I quit being in denial.
And like I mentioned, I spoke with others who took those steps toward getting clean. They offered some advice for those trying to do so, and they told me about certain events or situations that made them really think about taking that next step. Be sure to tune in to 5 News at 6 to hear those stories. For 5 News, I'm Austin Pollock, keeping you connected on West Virginia Fights Back.
Dozens continue to pay their respects to the families of WVU students who lost their lives in recent weeks. The university held a bell-ringing ceremony this afternoon to remember Leah Berhanu and Ibrahim Alkamas. Members of Berhanu's family spoke to WVU students, faculty, and staff with their memories of Leah and what she brought to not just the university community, but to Morgantown, too. We spoke with someone who knew Leah and also helped coordinate the bell-ringing ceremony.
It was very uplifting to see so many people out here, even seeing Gordon Yee out here today. That was impressive because he comes out eventually or sometimes, but he's a very busy man. So it was nice seeing him out here today, too.
We spoke with more of Leah's friends, plus got a statement from her family just last week. You can see that story on WDTV.com. Kidney stones on the rise, but in today's Health Minute, you're going to find out how you can take the right steps to reduce your risk. That's next.